Hey guys, it's Ryan here. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for your amazing support. The reason I'm even here doing this today is because of how you guys stepped up, and I feel really honored and very special that I'm able to do this cooking video, and I said thank you guys so much. And because of how you guys came through for me, not only am I doing this by myself, but I get to do this with a special guest. And this is just the beginning. I feel like when this is going to be a success, we're talking about maybe making this happen every 1,000 likes that we get, to bring somebody else in and let them experience. And because for me, I'm excited to learn from you guys and your stories, and that's what inspires me. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to somebody that has an amazing story, and I was really encouraged just talking to her and getting to know her story. So this is actually Julie.
So I'm thrilled, Ryan, to be here.
So what we're actually doing today is we're going to do my take on cheeseburger and fries. I was a big red meat eater, and so we're going to try to do something a little bit different. I did like to cook a lot, so I want to start off every video with kind of a remembering point. One of my passions is cooking, and so actually this is a throwback Thursday. I kind of want to show you where I started. This was my pants. These are 50s. I'm nowhere near now, and these are actually my culinary art pants. So I definitely can't wear those today. But I just thought it was kind of cool to bring these out and to kind of, like you had said, just remembering those little things and to kind of keep moving forward, because I know that is going to be a challenge for me now for the rest of my life, is to maintain and and to be moving forward. So it's kind of crazy to think like that's where I used to be. I mean, I'm sure you have those things as well that you kind of look back and you're like, how
Absolutely.
did I, to help you going forward.
Yes.
The cool thing is this meal that we're making today, there are no sugars, there are no sweets. It's a healthy meal. And like I said before, we're talking about one of the big things that part of my show was tailgating, being from Wisconsin, huge Packer fans, and a lot of times what happens, of course, we go out, we're grilling, and we're making things like brats and beer and greasy cheeseburgers and French fries. So I really wanted to sit down and come up with something creative and something that has helped me this last year. So for me, we're gonna create what I call my take on redoing the burgers and the fries. So we're actually gonna make today a turkey burger, and we're gonna use some cheese, but we're gonna make healthy low-fat mozzarella cheese. And the combination is amazing. It's unbelievable. Mozzarella, big thing about mozzarella, it's a lower fat cheese, right, compared to cheddar. I mean, cheddar is a big thing in Wisconsin. You can't go anywhere without getting, we do fried cheese curds even. So I'm excited. And then rather than doing fried French fries, we're gonna do sweet potatoes as a replacement. I think so many people are really worried about carbs and say you can't have carbs, but there are those good healthy carbs, and we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into it. But so to start off with, what we're gonna do is, Julie, if you want to grab the turkey for me.
Sure.
And then the scale, we'll weigh that out. One big thing with with eating healthy is proper portions. There's so many times where I think we as human beings on the rush, we grab and go. I was guilty of that just as much as the next person. So for me, I literally start out with whatever I do, I weigh my meats. I have this little mini scale here. So Julia, I'll have you take charge of that. If you want to grab the meat.
Yep.
Now, a typical portion is for males, it's between 4 to 5 ounces, and then females, it's
5.
Perfect.
Okay.
There we go, right on. And then is for females, it's like 3 to 4.
Yep.
So we're perfect, right, spot on. And so the importance with that is remembering that you measure that out and weigh that out beforehand. Typically, most people will weigh that out after and think, oh, I'm doing really good. I ate my 5 ounces or whatever. And really, if you weigh that ahead of time, that's 8 ounces.
Right.
And typically going out to eat at a restaurant, it's not uncommon to see half a pound or a full pound burgers even, and that's just that is so unhealthy on our hearts, and that's too much cholesterol. Red meat is good, and but it's good in moderation. And to eat a whole pound burger or half a pound burger is just not healthy for your body. And so this, I mean, I love turkey. I mean, it's a great, it's really a nice low-fat meat. That was one thing we've been talking about.
You have to kind of watch your packages to make sure that you are buying your lean turkey and chicken too if you're using ground. So that's important because sometimes if there's a high fat content, you're really not gaining anything by eating a high fat turkey. Where what Ryan has chosen is 93% lean, so this is very good.
And it's natural too, like a big thing you want to watch your natural meats and
absolutely.
Not to get a lot of hormones or fillers, and
absolutely.
It's a big deal. So so what we're gonna do is with these turkey burgers, like I said, we're gonna add some cheese to it, but it's a low fat mod. So I'll have you, if you want to pop one of them out, pull one of the things out, and actually.
And we're gonna split this, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay. And
then if you want to make so what we're gonna do almost here is we're gonna make 2 smaller patties. And kind of line that up with, we're going to put some cheese. Now actually, I'll come out and get that. We have some the low fat mozz here, like I said. And, when we're cooking this cheese will actually...
we don't want to...
Yep. And one thing, I mean, remember is also too, is when you're dealing with raw meats is cross-contamination. So actually, Julie, what I'll have you do when we're done here, I'll have you actually go and wash your hands. Absolutely. So once we get started cutting those
you
potatoes.
Can do the cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, perfect.
Because I've been touching the meat.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and then I'll start patting up.
Yep.
And one thing too, for those that don't have these nice digital scales, they're very inexpensive. I use mine all the time at home, and because to eyeball things, I've been way off, and I've found that they're very inexpensive and they're easy to use. Now we're just crimping down the ends a bit so that it'll stick to, stay together. Now, are we ready to put it? Or do we want to do the next one first?
We can definitely put that in, kind of get that started, kind of just see.
Going?
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of see. Perfect. Here we go. Right away, that nice
sizzle.
Yeah, absolutely. And then definitely tell it's a lower fat meat because there's not going to be a lot of that afterburn off, the grease and from being frying. So it's just really a clean.
And that one is the 5 ounce. You can tell the difference.
Yep.
This one is a little bit smaller. Yep. This would be a lady portion.
So we'll go 2 pieces.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh. And as soon as I'm done crimping, I am going to wash my hands so that we do not cross-contaminate. That is not good. So always make sure you wash your hands after handling raw meats. There. Okay. I think we're good.
Then we'll do actually, we'll just cover it up and let it cook a little bit.
And I'm going to take this too because this had the raw meat on it.
Perfect. So. Thank you. This sounds like they're cooking. You can definitely hear.
Yep.
I think we check them and see where they're at. I mean, they have definitely. I mean, it's cool because to be able to get on the go, like there's really no excuses because this is something quick and easy. I mean, they're already ready to flip. So you wash your hands, Julie.
Yes,
you want to flip them for me?
Okay.
And I mean, just to see that pretty color, and the cheese is already gooey. I mean, it really is.
I'll wash my hands again.
Perfect. Good.
There we go.
Awesome. And one thing we talked about is to fill up. A lot of Americans, we want to have as much food as possible, and we want to fill up. And so one thing I love to do is to get more volume to my meals, rather than eating meats or those other kind of, just carbs or junk food. I like to, I've started, and Julie, you said this as well, like you add spinach or vegetables to it. And so for me, one thing I like to do is, like I said, literally just throw this on top, almost steam it in a way, and it kind of gets that wilty flavor to it. And that's just literally, like I said, just kind of throwing it on in here and kind of.
I had seen a show on TV where they made meatloaf and used frozen spinach and they had unthawed it, drained it very thoroughly, and then added that to the meatloaf mixture just to add spinach to it. And it was basically a mom trying to do that for her children to get a little more spinach in it. But I throw this in, like if I do like a frittata, I'll throw spinach in there.
And the nice thing about this, I mean, this will add the flavor to the meat. But I mean, with it being so low in calories, like you can add as much as you want,
Right.
and there's no really harm done in that
No.
whatsoever.
Actually, it's very good.
Another thing I like, Julie, I don't know about you, I like onions.
Love onions.
So we actually had some pre-cut up onions here, so we'll throw a little bit if you want to throw that in there for me, just a little bit to give it some flavor. For me, that's the thing is the food that you're eating has to taste good.
That's right.
So we're gonna do that. I actually also have. I love Mrs. Dash's because the great thing is it's no sodium whatsoever, and so for me, I always am trying to control my sodium, battling the water weight. So you can definitely give this. This is actually a Southwest Chipotle, so it'll give it a nice smoky flavor to the turkey burgers, and and like I said, the cool thing about all this stuff we're doing today, like this can all be done on a grill. You don't have to throw you can have some spinach already pre-cooked just to throw on top at the end. I mean, we're doing it here in a house, but this can be done at a Packer game, at a kid's soccer game, whatever you want to be doing, wherever you're at. Real easy. I mean, just to smell that it's definitely getting that amazing smell.
And actually, look at how the spinach is
Going down, absolutely.
going down.
And and the thing is when you're cooking like this, spinach or vegetables like that are high in water is a great way, rather than adding extra oils or things like that. Like throw some of that in ahead of time and let that liquid kind of marinate a little bit and really create a nice flavor to the meal. And I mean the meat turkey is such a being able that it falls apart so easily, like it really will be able to take on that taste. And so many people aren't sure if they like spinach or not. I mean it is one of those things I think you have to try before you can make a judgment on if you like it or not, or try it a couple times, multiple times.
And fresh spinach is wonderful. It's I was brought up on canned spinach. Did
Yeah.
not like it.
You can even
But
throw a
this
little
is-
bit more if you want.
Actually, I think you're right. You need to add some more.
Because I mean you can see just how much it cooks down. Absolutely.
So we will add a lot more.
So actually,
do you want me to add some more onion?
absolutely, that works out perfect. And then,
Because it smells incredible. I wish there was a smellometer on
and
it.
actually, what we'll do is we'll turn that down a little bit, let that cook some more, and then perfect.
And a little more Mrs. Dash, maybe?
Absolutely. You cannot. I mean, like I said, the benefit of the Mrs. Dash is it's low sodium,
Yep.
so you can add as much as you need to get that
For
taste going.
flavor, yep.
And that can be ranged from however you feel. I mean,
Yep.
there's no rhyme or reason on how much you have to add. And that's why I really honestly wanted to do a recipe like this that was simple, easy, quick, but can be made to different likes and tastes. And we're adding spinach and onions, but you can add, if you don't like onions, or if you don't like mozzarella cheese, like you can just do it with no cheese.
Right.
I mean, or whatever taste you want. Like there's so many different options out there to make it whatever you're craving or whatever you want. So we're actually gonna let that cook. What I'm gonna do next is we'll go on to our sweet potato fries. So what I'm gonna have
And I'm going to
you
quick
do.
rinse my hands because it's
Perfect.
full of onion.
There we go. Absolutely.
We don't want to cross-contaminate with onion and sweet potato. I'm kidding.
No. Well, that is definitely a big part. Like when you're cooking with raw meat, like I can't speak enough about making sure that you wash your hands and every time you're done, because that can cause a bad experience. And there's so many people I've talked to that are like, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that, I got sick from it. And it may not be because you didn't like that meat or whatever. It may be just because it wasn't properly handled or cooked. And so you got to take all the steps you can to make eating an enjoyable experience.
Right.
So that is definitely, like I said, something I cannot stress enough. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to take these sweet potatoes here, and they're just ones we got at the store, real quick and easy. And Jill, if you don't mind, would you slice those up for me?
You bet. And now we're going to do some like fries, right?
Yep.
But then we're going to do one that is quartered to show you, that they are versatile. You don't have to have them in tiny little pieces.
And exactly, like I said with the turkey burger, like that can be done on a grill. You can easily be quartering these sweet potatoes and grill them as well. And so you can have a whole fun experience in a Packer game in the middle of winter. I mean, like I said, the possibilities are really endless, and where you want to take them, how you want to do it is just amazing. I think so many people are misguided about or don't understand how good sweet potatoes really are and the possibilities with them. And that goes back to with the Mrs. Dashes. Like you can, there's different flavors, there's different types of things you can add to them. So it's just it's amazing to see the possibilities. And because I think that's one thing I've gotten from a lot of people lately is how do we make healthy food taste good?
Right.
And it's really, I've been through this last year, I've learned that we can make healthy food taste good naturally. And it's important that the food tastes good. You got to enjoy what you want to eat, but it's not that hard.
No.
I mean, like you said, spinach, like maybe people wouldn't think about adding spinach, why would you want to do that? But I mean, it's amazing that flavor it creates, like the onions, and I mean, it's just it's a natural flavor, clean flavor, rather than a lot of our foods nowadays are filled with fillers or hormones or, and honestly, like I've talked about proper portion, like bigger isn't always better.
No.
I mean,
no.
that's sometimes why people get sick is because they eat so much,
right.
and then they want to go throw up afterwards. So that's just another big part of that. So.
And if you don't have a digital scale, I don't know if I said this already, they are very inexpensive, and I mean, I just got mine at a local Walmart, and
yeah, absolutely.
It was around $20, and I use it all the time.
I mean, it's one of those things that pays for itself in the first week.
Yeah.
Walmart, absolutely. It's amazing. You can get stuff at Walmart really cheap.
Yep.
I go there very often,
Yep.
so definitely a great place to go and get that. And the neat thing about this is all this stuff I got was at Sam's, and it's not that hard to find that local organic stuff. Another great, as we're cutting up these vegetables, I'm thinking out loud, another great place to get natural veggies is your local farmer's market.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to be able to go and get that fresh produce. If it's something that you can't grow in your garden, I mean, that would be where I first say is like grow that garden. That's a big part of my journey since the show has been done, and as I'm working, I'm growing a lot of my vegetables, but there's some that are really hard to grow. And
exactly.
if you can find that natural stuff that isn't done by major companies and adding those chemicals, I mean, that would be huge.
I'm trying to keep them as uniform as possible.
And the best thing when you're cooking like this is everything doesn't have to look fancy.
No.
I mean, just it is what it is, and just it's gonna taste amazing.
If you wanted fancy, you picked the wrong person.
There we go. Well, hey, listen, I'm not fancy either, so
No, this
so
one
perfect.
is a quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
So. How's it going
Just
in
checking
there?
them. They're looking good.
Yes,
So
they are.
I think I'm going to do perfect.
Be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety first, guys.
Yeah.
Dealing with knives and stuff like this, you gotta.
Any chefs out there are probably cringing when they watch me cutting.
That works.
I'm not doing it.
Perfect. That looks actually really good right there. And this, I mean, this is something that can go right on the grill.
Yep.
I mean, if you need it. So those are two different options.
Yeah. Okay, now we're just gonna finish quartering.
Yep.
Actually,
while you're doing that, I'm gonna grab the pan.
Okay. And then we can get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. As the turkey burgers, I mean, those are really starting to look good. Just that smell is amazing.
It is.
So we can we'll just get going on that.
Yep. And I tried to do it as uniform as possible.
They look wonderful.
And we're gonna put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on it. Drizzle just a little bit, and then we'll add some. We have Celtic salt, which is a sea salt, and also some Mrs. Dash.
Yeah, I think with going with the flavor of the chipotle and the burgers, I think it's a great idea to kind of stick with that whole theme throughout the meal. And I mean, it's a nice smoky flavor. It gives a little bang. With the sweet potatoes being sweeter, it kind of adds an alternate to that and kind of a nice little difference as well.
Yes, it's like a little sweet and savory at the same time.
Absolutely.
It's very good. It is excellent. Okay, now I want to do that with the quarters. The quarter one we'll keep on the other side of the pan so that they'll have to bake a little longer. And then we did I think, what is it, about 375 oven?
Absolutely. And the key is just to watch it.
Yes.
I mean, be on top of it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, you gotta just watch it. And, also it depends on how you like your potatoes. Some people like them more crunchy.
Yep.
Some people like them more soft. So it really, I mean, it's up to you. Again, this whole meal is about how you want, what you like, and how you want to make it, so that it's something that you're able to have on multiple occasions.
Yes, and you can, mix it up a little bit. And this time we used the chipotle, Mrs. Dash, and next time we could use the garlic and herb.
Yep.
Or
there's so many flavors with that. Absolutely. One thing I want to talk about is salt. Is that so many people are afraid of salt, but salt is okay in moderation. I mean, it's a natural part of our body.
Yes.
There's a big difference, though. I'm gonna stick behind you and grab. Big difference between something like a sea salt as opposed to an ionized salt.
Well, these are ready to go with.
Okay.
And with the magic of television,
We'll just
we
put
have
those
some
in
that
there.
are going to come out.
Absolutely.
That we just did, and they are.
So, like I said, that's going in for about at 375, and just watch them. And these, I think these are done here, aren't they?
Oh, they look wonderful.
And it's amazing because you want to bring them over.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would love to bring them over.
Thank you. And I'll get this out of our way. Perfect. And the nice thing is we got this really great crisp look that it isn't a fry. It's nicely cooked, baked. And it almost the seasonings almost create like a crust to it.
Right.
A nice crunch. So absolutely. And we'll kind of just mix them up a little bit and kind of get everything going here. You can actually, I'll step back and let you do that.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to check the burgers actually and see where they're at with that. They look really good. And I'm actually going to give them one more flip real quick.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh boy, look at that cheese just oozing out.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I mean, we didn't. And the cool thing is, we didn't use a ton of cheese as well. Perfect moderation, and that's just gonna create an amazing gush of flavor. So, I'm gonna I think everything looks done here.
Okay.
I'm gonna plate it up, and I'll actually have you.
Quick rinse my hands.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
If you want to hold the plate for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
Perfect. Get some of that spinach on
Yes.
top. And one thing is I kind of want to talk about, we're going to add to give it a little bit more of that green color, because greens are great for you. So we actually have some avocado here, just to throw a little bit on top to get that healthy fat in. Fat is a really important part of our daily body. The one thing I love about avocados is they are a good source of fat, and you cannot go wrong with fat. It's something our body needs, but the struggle is finding those healthy fats, and and it's very appealing to the eye as well.
Now, would you like this on top of yours?
And yeah, that actually, we can do that because it'll look really nice.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing too, is this is such a simple meal. We cook quick, but you can really get in crazy with this and make it look amazing. Throwing some tomato on top to give it some red flair. I mean, whatever you want, however really intense you want to get, you can go with it. And so what I'll have you do is, if you want to put some of the fries on.
You bet. Oh, I think we are going to use a. There we go.
Perfect. Absolutely. There we go. Yeah.
Do you want a big one? Like a
you can just
quarter?
normal, whatever. Yeah, that works actually. We'll do those.
And then
Couple
we'll
of-
give you a couple, and then
Perfect.
some
Just a
of the
few of those.
little ones.
Absolutely. And like I said, it just make it look really amazing and beautiful. Perfect. That looks great. We'll set that over
There you go.
Set that here. Put that on. And then we'll go on to this one. I'm gonna grab your plate. Thank you so much. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll put the rest of the spinach on this. I mean, and like I said before, you cannot, vegetables are great as much as you need. So, you can't go wrong with the vegetables.
This over a little bit.
Perfect. Absolutely. And
Add the avocado on top. There you go.
this cool down.
a lady portion.
There we go.
And there you have it.
Perfect. Now I think all that's left to do is try it.
I think so too.
I gotta get the verdict here.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Let me
here.
actually, I'll switch.
Ah.
I'll go down here. Perfect. So, there we go.
Okay, how are we doing?
Let me know. You're the...
I wish you could all smell this. It smells incredible. Oh yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is wonderful.
Just how that, even that turkey has taken on that spinach.
And you know, we didn't add any salt to the turkey meat. We just patted it up.
Yep.
And you get the spice of the chipotle. And you have onion flavor. And the spinach is just added awesome protein and iron. That was very, very good.
And what about these potatoes here? I love the pop to them. Like, I mean, the sweetness, and like you talked about that chipotle.
It's so good because it's almost like that, almost candy flavor. I mean, it's sweet,
yeah.
yet you got that savory and the pop of
In my
spice.
mind, it's almost like a brown sugary flavor.
Yes.
You know, like that. There's that sweetness to it. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, it's great to see how you can create that, you know, artificial, like you said, that sweet flavor, but done naturally. And one thing you talked about is like how you like the sweets and stuff like that, and to make a bunch of these up and to have those when you're kind of reaching for something, especially people that are just starting out.
Yes.
And they're so used to going for chips or whatever, you know,
this is
out
so
there.
much
Like
better.
to make a bunch of these and just have them in a bag and to grab, you know, measure out a half a cup or whatever, you know, to go for that than chips. Because that's one thing too, is that something like this is great, and you know, somebody that's just getting into turkey, like maybe for the first time you have to add salt. Like, don't be afraid to do what you need to do to make it work for you.
Exactly. This is excellent. I definitely will. I've never made sweet potatoes like this, and this will be something I add. And I know my kids and my grandkids are gonna love this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to get to meet you and hear more of your story, and we're definitely gonna stay in touch. And I mean, guys, if you have any questions for her, she's on Facebook as well.
Yes, I am.
Reach out to her. She has an amazing story. I'm sure, like I can confidently say, you would love to talk to people and share your story. And
that's my passion, and I mean, I really believe that, you know, I've been able to retire, and this chapter of my life, I feel like so much of my life has just started now, and I'm almost 61 years old. So I welcome anybody that would have any questions. And not that I have the answers, but, you know, kind of been there.
But nobody has the answers completely, and I don't either. So that's why for me it was such an amazing experience to be able to bring you in and somebody that has gone through and experienced what I've experienced. And we're actually going to, up on Facebook, we'll put a couple pictures up and kind of tell you guys ways to get in contact with her, reach out to her on Facebook. And, you know, I'm excited to have her be part of my journey now. And we're going to continue staying in touch, and who knows what might happen. We'll see where God takes this. Because I'm definitely open, and I mean, this was just such an amazing experience. Being my first time, I was nervous. I didn't know how this was going to go, but I mean, it just worked natural. And this is something, like I said, that's quick, easy, and I think people are looking for reasons and, you know, things that they can do on the go. Guys, I just want to say one more time, thank you for your amazing support. You know, you guys created this opportunity, and I feel like it was such a success. This is going to happen more in the future. This is something that I'm talking about and thinking about maybe making something on a weekly basis. And just because of the support, I feel really overwhelmed and touched by it. Thank you guys so much. You guys have talked about different types of meats and proteins and what's good and, you know, what other things are out there. So, I mean, this is something that will bring in other types of proteins like chicken, fish, and, you know, I just wanted to do something really quick and easy, but we can, we can get as in-depth as you guys want. So continue to message me and, you know, write on my Facebook page what you're looking for, or, you know, different things. I'm open to whatever. I really am. And, you know, after today, like, I'm sold. Like, I want to do this. And so I just want to thank you guys so much again from the bottom of my heart. Like, it has been an honor doing this, and I'm excited to see where God takes this. So I think now is just time to dig in and just enjoy this amazing meal.
Thank you. Oh, so good. But okay, one more bite and I'm done.